In today's performance-driven society, people are forced to deal with stress at a very Teenagers are not spared. They are constantly driven to compete for the best or the highest at school. Amongst peers, they are constantly fighting for acceptance, usually based on how in they are with today's trends. The way they talk, dress and act are all governed by standards set by the media and cultural icons, which is followed by peer groups. Introducing teenage stress management at home. Children are motivated and driven, even bribed to perform well from a very young age. Course materials and parental expectations usually work up a great deal of stress that neither the child nor the parent recognize or address. As soon as the child enters into his or her teens, there are a lot of physiological changes that take place, which adds a great deal to the already existing load of stress. Let's look at 3 very important aspects of teenage stress management. Communication. The first step towards teenage stress management is that you establish and keep communication lines open. You should be able to talk with your teenager at any time you need to, and he or she should be able to do so too. This habit should be cultivated right from childhood, when you should establish a feeling in the child's mind and heart that you are there anytime he or she needs to talk to you. Prefatory counseling. Preparing the child for the changes he or she will face is another extremely important step in teenage stress management. This prefatory counseling should happen well in advance. For example, a child should be told about the changes in their bodies when they are around 11 or 12 years old. They should also be assured that everything is normal and expected. If you share a very open relationship with your teenager, it is of course going to be much more easier to manage. Telling the truth. Teenagers usually suffer greatly when parents do not get along. When there is a divorce in the family, they tend to blame themselves for the fallout between the parents. Keep the children in the loop as far as possible if you are not pulling along, and try as much as possible to keep your arguments private. In the case of a divorce, teenage stress management would involve telling the truth. Never lace up the truth or try to give it some sort of artificial flavor. Your children deserves to know the truth. Most importantly, let them know that it is not because of their fault the way things are. The experiences during childhood pretty much shapes the future of the child, including what they go through during the teenage phase. It would be very wrong indeed to assume that stress will not affect teenagers, being so young in age. There has already been enough cases of teens getting into extreme action due to inability to cope with stress. Let any of these things not happen to your teenager. Take care of them. They are fragile. Let them have a wonderful experience of growing up in their one lifetime. Let your teenager carry with them into the future a fond memory of their childhood, with you in the picture, as always being there for them.